They humiliated the poor boy every day, until they found out what he did every night, every morning. Lucas walked into school wearing the same faded jacket and old sneakers. Students laughed at him constantly. Does he even own different clothes? He looks homeless. Lucas always stayed quiet, not because the words didn't hurt, but because he was too tired to fight back. Nobody knew that after school, Lucas didn't go home and play video games like everyone else. Instead, he rushed to a small construction site across town. Every evening, he carried heavy equipment, cleaned dust, and worked until late at night beside older workers twice his age. His hands were covered in cuts. His body ached constantly. But he needed the money. 3 years earlier, Lucas's father had died suddenly. Since then, his mother struggled to pay rent while raising Lucas and his little sister alone. Some nights they barely had enough food to eat. Lucas secretly started working to help his family survive. But at school, people judged him without knowing anything about his life. One afternoon during class, the teacher announced a city-wide engineering competition. The winner would receive a full scholarship to one of the best universities in the country. Students became excited immediately. The rich kids started talking about expensive equipment and private tutors. Then Lucas quietly wrote his name on the sign-up sheet. The classroom exploded with laughter. You can barely afford school supplies. Even the teacher looked uncertain. But Lucas ignored everyone. Every night after work, while the rest of the city slept, Lucas stayed awake building his project from broken machine parts he found at construction sites. Some nights he worked until sunrise. His mother begged him to rest, but Lucas refused. "I have to win," he whispered. Competition day finally arrived. Hundreds of students filled the massive hall. Professional judges walked around examining advanced inventions and expensive machines. Lucas entered, carrying a small homemade device built entirely from recycled materials. Students instantly smirked. "This is embarrassing." When the judges reached Lucas's table, one of them asked politely, "What does your invention do?" Lucas took a deep breath, then explained that he had designed an affordable emergency water purification system for poor communities without access to clean water. At first, the judges looked curious. Then Lucas activated the machine. Dirty water slowly entered the system, and crystal clear water poured out the other side. The judges stared in shock. One judge tested the water immediately, completely clean. The room slowly became silent. Students who mocked Lucas earlier pushed closer to watch. Another judge asked quietly, "How did you create this without professional equipment?" Lucas looked down for a moment before answering, "Because poor people deserve solutions too." The entire hall froze. For the first time, people saw him differently. Not as the poor kid, but as someone brilliant. When the winners were announced later that evening, the crowd held its breath. First place goes to Lucas Bennett. The audience exploded with applause. Lucas stood frozen in disbelief, his eyes immediately filled with tears. Not because he won, but because after years of struggling silently, somebody finally believed in him. That night, Lucas returned home holding the scholarship letter tightly in his hands. His exhausted mother opened the door. When she realized what happened, she covered her mouth and started crying. "You did it!" Lucas hugged her tightly, and for the first time in years, he finally felt hope.